Welcome. Welcome to AD Topcast. This is another day. Thank you very much, everyone who decided to watch. We appreciate it. So, we're going to talk about the Department of Education in US with Trump. Trump decided to dismantle the Department of Education, as he said on his campaign that he's going to dismantle most of these departments. Also show you Larry Elder, a wise man, black man, who will show you how most of these cities, the Democrat cities, are fairing the public education. You're gonna see the numbers and you will be surprised. And at the end, I will show you what Dr. Omar Johnson say about uh, school choice. Which is what Republicans are talking about. They are going to cancel public uh, education, public school, so we can shift to school choice, as most people are happy for. So, school choice, it's not bad, but it comes with a big cost. Myself, I had to move when I got this new place, and I had to move my children school because if you are in public school, you don't have choice. You have to put your children into the district where you live. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how bad is the school. You don't have choice. So everybody like school choice. So you can send your children wherever you want. You don't want to send your children to a school, they don't have teachers. They have a bad teacher. They don't have breakfast. They don't have anything that you will wish for your children. But because you have no choice, you're going to do it. So obviously, it's going to change. We're going to go to school choice, which is public school, no, private school. Watch, and I want to know what you think in comments. Thank you.
The next department that appears to be on the chopping block is the Department of Education. Just earlier today, Democratic members of Congress were blocked from entering the department's headquarters. Democratic lawmakers had met outside to protest Donald Trump and Elon Musk's plan to abolish the department entirely, as well as attempting to seek a meeting with the department's senior leadership. Lawmakers were not only blocked by security holding the front door, but also by Department of Homeland Security police seen in multiple videos from members of Congress. Lawmakers were told by security guards stationed outside that nobody had accepted a meeting and that they needed an escort in the building in order to enter the building.
The door, he says he's a federal employee. He won't tell us who gave him permission to do this. All he knows is he's going to stand here and tell the members of Congress who are elected, who vote for the funding for all of them in this building, and for the student loans, and for the Title I families. He's going to tell us that we can't come in and talk with anybody. Is that right?
Joining me now is one of the lawmakers who tried to enter the Department of Education today, Congresswoman Jahana Hayes, Democrat of Connecticut, and a 2016 National Teacher of the Year. It's a great pleasure, Congresswoman. And, let's just get right to the bottom. Who tried to stop you, and under what authority were they acting to block members of Congress? That's the part I have to wrap my head around. Who fund the very department that they're standing there blocking members from coming into the building?
Well, thank you, Michael, and it's great to be here. And that's a great question. We did not get an answer to that. The man who came out, he met us at the door. The door was locked, and then he came out and met us and said we were not allowed entry to the building. We had to be on a guest list. And when I said, well, what is your name? What is your title? All he would say is, I work for the Department of Education. Never said who he was, kept pulling out a badge and pulling it back quickly. But we said, we're members of Congress. We can come into the building. We can request a meeting. Would not even let us inside the building.
Amazing. It's just amazing. Well, it also kind of begs the question, what do you do next? I mean, this is the fourth time or so that members of Congress have been denied access to federal property. It's not a question of what do Democrats do, what a Republican, what do members of Congress do when something like this happens? What do you think should happen next?
Well, I think that's really important. I think part of the problem is the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has ceded all of our Article 1 powers to the president. And in this case, the Speaker of the House should be saying we need to respect the separation of powers. But I know that is not going to happen. So we are bracing for lawsuits. We've sent letters to the department requesting a meeting. 96 members of Congress signed on to this meeting. Outside groups are gearing up to file lawsuits because we read Project 2025. We know what's next. We know what's coming. And Elon Musk and Donald Trump, this whole administration is going play by play in what we saw in this Project 2025. But one thing I don't think people understand. For me, it was important to go to the department because and request this meeting because I'm open to, if you want to audit the department, if you want to make reforms, let's talk about it. Let's work together and see what we need to do. They don't want to do that. They want to tear everything down, just like they talked about in your last segment.
Look, of course, they don't want to negotiate. They don't want to talk to you anymore because, well, you should negotiate with the general population. That's what Trump did. Look, most people are not really fan of what Trump is. Most of what Trump is doing. Okay, a lot of people, including myself, some of what Trump is doing, I'm not a fan of it. But let me say this: she says she was ready to negotiate. You don't negotiate with Trump. You don't negotiate between you. You negotiate with the population. The time of negotiation was the time he was going into the campaign, when he was telling people going through this. But when they ask this question about this program that's in school, and the public school for children, about homosexuality, about this type of education that doesn't matter to the general population, they didn't want to deal with it. When people was asking a deep question, very important question for them, they didn't want to deal with it. Most of them, if you was listening, they was just jumping over. They really never want to go into this question, which gave Trump a chance to win. Now, he's not going to negotiate with them. He's going to just do it. That's who he is. A guy who is talking about taking over Palestine, he's not going to negotiate with these guys because he knows they lost the Senate, they lost the House, and they don't have the White House. So Democrats have nothing at all. They don't have even the Supreme Court. They have nothing at all, nothing. So it's going to happen. The issue is what? It's on us. Are we going to afford this? But you're going to find out. You're going to find out. Watch. So this is a wise man. He's going to tell you, he's going to show you how most of these Democrat cities are failing public school. And most of the teachers, they send children into the private school, but they're pushing us, the people who can't afford the private school, to put our children into the public school. And they know that they are not the best. And instead of giving us choice to send our children wherever that we want, they want us to send our children to the public school. But Trump is going to change that. It's going to be a big challenge. Big challenge, by the way. It's not going to be fun, but it is what it is. It is happening because he won election. He won the popular vote, and he won the general election. So we're going to play his music. We have no choice. Watch this man. You're going to be surprised in Philadelphia, Chicago, or Maryland. When we talk about Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, 93% of these children, they can't even read, they can't do the basic math. The whole state, the whole city of Baltimore, they failed. They are failing. they don't focus on our children education. They focus on whatever they focus at instead of focusing on our children education. That's why America is going to get immigrants to come over to work into tech, into medical field, into science, all this stuff. Why? The American education is failing for too many years. So Trump and Republican are trying to fix it. Are they going to do it? Are they going to succeed? We don't know, but that's what we are watching right now. Listen to this man, a wise man, black man who knows what he's talking about. He's a smart guy. He also ran as for president last election. He lost, but his views are so important for Democrat and Republican. He ran as an independent because he don't support Democrat, he don't support also Republican. But guess what? You will never see him on Democrat media. You will never see him. He's black, he's smart, he knows what he's talking about. But this media, Democrat media, they don't invite him to talk because he's gonna go straight to the point. Now he's on Fox News, the media that support Trump, but they call him, they invite him as a black man with straight views. Listen.
Let's welcome to the show Larry Elder, host. He's a terrific guy. He's Elder for America PAC founder, the one and only Larry Elder. Larry, we needed you on the story. When you heard this, when you saw it, what was your first reaction? They're terrorizing federal workers to protect massive government corruption and waste. What do you think?
My first reaction was, we're talking about the Department of Education. Donald Trump would like to shut it down, and Donald Trump would like to provide school choice for kids, particularly urban kids, K through 12, that are getting a lousy education. He wants to liberate them from these underperforming government schools. The last time Democrats have been this angry at a Republican president for liberating blacks was Abraham Lincoln. 85% of black eighth graders nationwide, Liz, I kid you not, can neither read nor do math at grade level, yet they oppose school choice. Why? Because their biggest funder are teachers' unions, and they absolutely do not want school choice. But you look at where teachers put their own school-age kids. Nationwide, around 10% of us have our kids in private schools. Maybe 6% of black families do. 49% of Philadelphia public school teachers with school-age kids put their own kids in private schools. Wow. It's about 39% in Chicago, about 28% in LA. So people who know the public school systems the best are not putting their own kids in it. What does that tell you? Maxine Waters ought to be concerned about the fact that black and brown kids are getting an awful education K through 12. Instead, she's attacking Donald Trump for trying to improve the educational performance of their own kids. It is an absolute outrageous. And this is why Democrats are beginning to lose black and brown support. Polls show that black and brown parents living in the inner city want school choice. The Democrats are adamantly opposed to it.
Yeah, it's, Larry, I mean, the point's been made. We won World War I.
Yeah, we have to talk about this. Look, I know some people don't like news, politics, all this type of thing, but this is already deep into our lives, okay? You may don't have children, you're not even going to have children, but we are in a society when we have to really know what's going on and be ready. So for us, most of us, like the so-called poor people, we're not poor, but they call us poor people because we cannot afford most of this stuff. Look, we need to know this, okay? Why 49% of the teacher in Philadelphia send children into private school, but they don't want you to send your children in private school? Why they want you to keep those children into the public school? It don't make sense. Why they know in Baltimore, 93% of children fail, but they still want you to keep your children into the same district? Why they don't want you to send your children in a different district, and when they know for sure the school district you are in is failing? It doesn't connect. So we have to know this, and we have to talk about it, and we have to follow and see where it's going, because of course there's a big challenge that's coming. Yeah, I'm going to show you that. But one thing he said, which is very, very important, is this one. He said the last time when a Democrat was crying like this was at the time of Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. Do you remember what he did? Abraham Lincoln, he's the one who ended slavery. Okay? Most people, even the Democrats, American, they don't know that a Republican, the party of Trump, I'm not saying MAGA Trump, I'm talking about the Republican, which is the party of Trump. That is the party that ended slavery. That is the party that came up and said, no more, we don't do that anymore. Democrat was crying, hey, we have to do this. We're going to keep these people down. We're going to keep these people in slavery. We need them. We need them. But at some point, it came to change, it came to shift, and the people start to vote to go to the side of the Democrat. But Republican was the people who was on the side of slavery, black people, back in the days. Most people don't know that. He just said that. I know other people didn't pick that up, but he just said that. That's when a Democrat cried like that, because they pretend to support, to help, to fight for the small guy, the poor people. But it's just for their agenda. They really don't support you. They don't give you the most need you need to get out of slavery, to get out of the poverty. They want to give you the less, so you're not gonna go up and you're not gonna go even down, so they can keep control on you. By the way, it's not only Democrat, even the Republican do that. But when it comes to really doing the work, doing the job, Democrat, they don't. They just go to the streets, they talk, they scream, they do whatever. But Republican, they put the work on like that. They're closing all this stuff. They closed USAID, they closed this department. He's going to dismantle FBI. He's going to dismantle CIA. They put in the work, they put in everything into the work, as they say. Democrat, they don't. And that's how they lost election. They lost to Trump because they say they don't do it and they don't change. They stuck on the agenda. They don't shift to what the popular generation want. That's how Trump was able to win, because Trump was listening to the people, going to the small the restaurant, the hair salon, listening to the people and say, hey, we're going to do that. That's how he was able to win black men. Black men, most black men voted for Trump. Black women, they voted for Kamala Harris. Why? Because they vote with emotion. Black men, they don't vote with emotion. They look at where the money are. So, watch Dr. Umar. He's a psychologist. He's going to show you how this is a big challenge. He doesn't support school choice because it comes with a lot of work, especially for us. For us who was not born here and grew up here, we are not able to support our children. We are not able to help our children so they can be on the same level with other kids. So public school was taking every children. Private school, they don't have to, because they are privacy. That's challenge that's coming with this. Watch.
Sean Carter thought he was doing something positive.
Yes.
Did he change direction, or did he say, I'm staying with this initiative?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm wondering if he should change direction.
Okay.
Mr. Carter, remember we met back in 1997, Priscilla Gymnasium, Millersville University. That was me, Hove. Anyway, we brought him to the Spring Fling concert, him and KRS-One, back when I was BSU president.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, I do not support school choice. I'm going to tell you why.
Just right here.
DJ Envy and Charlemagne are millionaires. Dr. Umar is not. DJ and Envy hypothetically got multiple children. So if school choice is going to give them $10,000 per child, you good with that. You know why? You can pay the other $30,000 for your 4 children's private school tuition. I can't. I'm a working class brother raising 4 kids on my own. If New York City public schools give me 10 grand, or Philadelphia public schools give me 10 grand, or Newark, New Jersey public schools give me 10 grand, I still got to come up with the other 30. Mm-hmm. I still got to come up with the other 20. My point is, school choice only benefits middle and upper middle class black families. Most of our kids are raised by who? They mother, 67%. 50% of all homeless families are black women and their children. 50%, which is why I got to get on Eric Adams and Brandon when we get to the migrant crisis. But my point is this. How does school choice benefit poor parents? How does it benefit working class parents? I'm barely paying my mortgage. And you see the price of everything has went up. Everything, food, utilities,
gas,
rent. How am I going to pay all these bills as a single black mother raising 67% of our kids and still find money to offset the cost of tuition? It's not realistic. School choice is a scam. It makes poor people think that we're going to give you an opportunity to send your child to a better school, although we know you can't pay the balance. It's a scam. I do not support school choice.
So you don't think?
And I got another thing. Don't forget about black boys. DJ
That's
Envy
right here. Pay attention on this one. Very, very, very important. Very, very important for those people, for especially immigrants, to pay attention on this.
Hypothetically, DJ Envy's son is a problem child. Charlamagne's daughter is a problem child. Even though y'all can afford the tuition, you got a problem. You know why? Because the Catholic school can accept who they want. The private school can accept who they want. When they see all them pink slips in your son's record, when they see all those pink slips in your daughter's record, even though y'all can afford it, even though y'all celebrities, they're going to say, get out of here. And there's nothing you can do because they independent or they parochial. They can operate like that. Public schools got to take everybody, not the independent schools. So here's my question. Where are all the black kids nobody want going to go once New York City becomes a complete school choice district? You see that? We're shutting down public schools, find a private or find a private or parochial school. Here go 10K, but nobody wants your son. Where he going to go? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're basically going to create a massive black male high school dropout epidemic. It's not like we don't have one, but it's going to be mushroom because nobody has to take your child. So all these ADHD boys, EDD, oppositional, intermittent explosive, Ritalin, Adderall, Concerta, Cyclerc, Medicaid, who want them? Because remember, the private schools don't have to have special ed. Catholic schools don't have to have special ed. They ain't got no special class for that emotionally disturbed boy. Who gonna take them? Nobody. It's the quickest way to destroy the futures of black boys. I do not support school choice. This is a Republican scam.
Now let's go to the migrant issue.
Look,
Yes,
I don't look. I don't support. I'm not really. I don't support. Maybe some of what he said. Okay, but on this point, you can be black, you can be brown and white. Is totally right. Totally right. Okay, this private school, they don't have the special program. Special program is what? When your kid is behind because of some maybe mental issue or something, when he's behind, they give him a special program so he can improve and be on the other level, on the level of every other kid. This private school, they don't have those programs because they don't have to. On public school, that was an obligation. They had to hire those special programs when they help people who are behind so they can bring them to the level of other kids. That's going to be a big challenge, and we have to really put a lot of work, especially us. There's going to be a lot of work. So I know I know it sounds like difficult, but we have to really focus on this thing. If you have kids, you have family, you know whoever have kids and whatever, these are the information everybody needs to know and need to follow. It's so important. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this show, and you know somebody who need this, and you know somebody who is interested, tell him. Everything is changing in this country. We are shifting to the difficult moment.